Good evening, everyone. My name is Juliet Jones, and I'm with Universal Family Connection, and you're watching the live community health hotline. This is a live AIDS call-in show, so feel free to call in at the number posted. It's 312-738-1080. So please call in with questions or comments. So please call in. Universal Family Connection, we are a social service agency and we're centered in the Beverly area, and I want everybody to focus on the screen. This is Universal Family Connection. We also have an office at 79th and Western. So feel free to give us a call at 773-881-1711. Extension is 1156. Or you can come in and talk to a health educator or a social worker. I'm a health educator. I work in the risk reduction department at Universal Family Connection. I facilitate a support group for HIV positive individuals. That support group is held every Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's 4 hours where we're not rushing a person in, so there's a great room for learning and exploring, and also it's client-centered. So you bring yourself there and you set the tone of that support group. You set the topics. If you want professional speakers to come in, then that is your support group and you own it. So feel free once again to give me a call at 773-881-1711. My extension is 1156, and my name is Juliet Jones. We also have licensed clinical therapists, so if you want individual counseling, feel free once again to give me a call at that number, and I will forward that information and let you talk to the therapist, and they will set up appointment time for you. So I want to also get business out of the way. We're having a health fair tomorrow, so this is a great time to be on Ken TV. So let me focus your attention to our health fair. So feel free. I do apologize. This is not working out. So I'm going to take that off. We're having a health fair. It's this Thursday. It's April the 26th. It's from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you want to come in, to our health fair as a participant, or if you want to be a vendor, I'm pretty sure we can find a table for a vendor. So feel free to come in. It's from 10:30 to, it's 1:30 p.m. and it's tomorrow, Thursday, April the 26th. And just to keep in mind, this month is Minority Health Month. It's also STI Awareness Month, and it's also Sexual Abuse and Prevention Month. It's National Youth HIV Awareness Month. So there's a way of health issues that will be addressed. We have community resources coming out. And some of the resources that we have is Gilead. Gilead, their promotion now is the PrEP. Capital P, small r, capital E, and capital P is pre-exposure prophylactic. I will go into some of that today when I discuss that. Walgreens will be out. Who will not, you can also test your blood pressure. This is the opportunity to do that. We're going to have body mass indexing. What is that? There's a social community services coming out to help you understand what is body mass index, more than I can explain what it is. So that's, just keep in mind of that. AIDS Foundation of Chicago is coming out. We have Chicago Women's AIDS Project coming out. We have WellCare. It's all about insurance, right? And so that's important. And CEDA, Community Economic Development, they're coming out. And have you heard of Girls in the Hood? So there's an array of people that's coming out. How about the African American Research Institute? This is the place to come and to learn and to take in what their services, how it can benefit you. Which, once again, is Thursday, April the 26th, and will be located at Universal Family Connection. And our address is 1350 West 103rd Street. So feel free to call in if you have questions or concern. We won't be using the overhead because that doesn't work. But one of my what I wanted to discuss, preventive measures. And there's an array of preventive measures. Of course, who knows the first preventive measure there is? Feel free for someone to call in, and also you can also view the show online as well. The first one is abstinence, because if you're not engaging in unprotected sex, then you're not at risk for HIV. So just think about that. Abstinence. Abstinence is that number one way for a person to remain HIV negative. And then there's another preventive measure. Have you heard of U equals U for people living with HIV? U equals U is a campaign, but not just as a campaign, it's a proven science that if a person is HIV positive, they cannot transmit HIV during unprotected sex. And the thing to remember is they have to be having an undetectable viral load. So that means they have to be healthy. You know, their white cells have to be high and their viral load down as to less than what the test can measure. So if you want to know more about U equals U, that's a need to talk to your healthcare provider. If you have a medical case manager or health educator, they also can help you understand that science of U equals U. And in my position as a health educator, you know, I have more information and resources to help connect you to U equals U, and even to even understand that. And I'm gonna talk more about U equals U, but I also want to go through the other preventive measure. There's PrEP. As I said, pre-exposure prophylactic. That is a pill. It's for HIV negative individuals, and you have to be followed by a doctor. So that's why it's important for people to understand HIV is a health issue. It's a sexual health issue, but it's a health issue, and so that takes away, you know, the stigma and the shame, because you're being followed by a doctor, just like all other, you know, illnesses that a person may have, heart disease, diabetes, you know, blood pressure, high blood pressure. And so that's why it's best to understand what is those preventive measures out there. And once you understand yourself, once you understand and you educate others, that does reduce that stigma out there, or that fear. So just that knowledge is power. So just think of that. And the last preventive measure is condoms. They have male and female condoms. And so if a person is engaging in unprotected sex, well, then they need to weigh their options and get more understanding about condoms. They should have access to condoms. Now you can go into a community-based organization, you know, such as Universal Family Connection. There's several. Southside Health Center. There's plenty up north. Howard Brown. So you don't always have to be in a clinical setting to go and get condoms, you know. And also, it's worth it. If you want to spend money, you know, you don't want to use certain kind, it's worth it to protect yourself and your sexual partner to buy condoms. So don't think, oh, I always have to get free condoms. No, it's about a preventive measure, an option that's out there for everyone. There's an option out there for everyone to prevent HIV, because HIV can be prevented. And that's some part of what you learn in a support group. Because, you know, even though I said, you know, talk with your medical provider, yes, I do encourage that. And their staff. But think about it. How long are you there at a hospital or a clinic? You're not there for hours. You're going to be at best 30 or 45 minutes if you're waiting on medicine or waiting for a test. So just think about, there's a need for a support group, because a support group can provide you that space to talk about your illness, and not just about HIV. Talk about other things that's going on, other surrounding support that you may need. You may need housing. You may want to get into employment, you know, get back into the employment field. There's a lot of social services that connect you when you're HIV positive, and you can best learn about those things at a support group. And I always tell participants, you are valuable. When you come to that support group, you bring a wealth of knowledge, you know, as well. And so someone there is going to need that support. That's the whole concept of a support group. So don't think I only have the information, or you can get it from the internet. No, you have that information that can help save someone's lives or help improve someone's lives. So that's why the need for support groups are so valuable. Because, like I said, the topic we want to discuss is HIV is preventable. but there are preventive measures out there. So, have anyone heard of the U equals U? It means the U is undetectable equals untransmittable. And the definition for that, if you want more information, you can always go to the Well Project. You can go to the CDC. You can go to the body. There's lots of places on the internet. You can Google, and it'll direct you to more for more information on undetectable equals untransmittable, or the short version, U equals U. U equals U states that people living with HIV who are on antiviral therapy, that's the medicine for HIV, positive, they're taking that, and they have been undetectable, meaning their viral load has been less than 40 copies in a milliliter of blood for at least 6 months, cannot infect others through sexual transmission. I'm going to read that again. U equals U states that people living with HIV who are on antiviral therapy and have been undetectable, less than 40 copies in a milliliter of blood, for at least 6 months cannot infect others through sexual transmission. So that means through that unprotected sexual transmission. And yes, it could be the oral sex, it could be vaginal sex, it can be anal sex. That means unprotected sexual transmission. So that is a breakthrough, because we have been hearing about HIV for over 30 years. Call in if you know the exact numbers, but it's safe to say over 30 years. I've been working in this field for 20 years. And so now that is a breakthrough. Now, the science of that, like I said, it is a science involved, and it's been proven. But not only that, that reduces stigma from that HIV positive person, because the person who had this concept, he was fearing that he would infect his sexual partners even if he wore a condom. The story is he had a condom and it broke. And so he was fearing that. So he went to his medical doctor, and his doctor informed him that as long as he's undetectable, he cannot infect someone with HIV. So is that a good preventive measure out there? You tell me. Call in and tell me that. Please call in and tell me, is that a good science out there? Is it a proven science? Do you know anything about U equals U? Do you know someone that's HIV positive, or you, if you want to share, that you're HIV positive and how you feel? And like I said, and that whole concept with that science saying U equals U, that it reduces stress. It reduces that fear. It reduces that. It's not saying that person's not being responsible, because they're still being responsible, as someone HIV positive. So they know to take precautions. They know to go to their doctor every 3 to 4 months to get their viral load done, the viral load test done, so to ensure that they're still undetectable. Remember, that's the science. As long as they're undetectable for up to 6 months, they're not infectious. So imagine, it takes that stigma off of someone. Oh, wow, you mean I'm not a highly infectious? No, you're not. U equals U is the science that proves that. And also, I wanted to bring awareness, treatment as prevention. Does anyone remember that? Treatment as prevention is exactly U equals U. But for some reason, treatment as prevention didn't take off well. There was not plenty of posters out there. I remember that. But there's not plenty of posters out there that talked about treatment as prevention. I think it went over people's head. But now this U equals U, it brings back, to me, I think the U, the actual letter U, and then that concept U as in Y-O-U, that helps get that message out there, because people are going to own up to that. And as I say, it reduces stigma for that HIV positive person, because they've been educated, they've been followed by their doctors. What more can you ask for someone that's HIV positive? They're being responsible. So that's why we all need to be on that same page and learn what is U equals U, as well as learn about those other preventive measures that I mentioned. I mentioned about PrEP, the pre-exposure prophylactic. It's a blue pill that an HIV negative person have to take. We have a caller. Caller?
Yes, my question Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I don't know if you can answer this, but I'm gonna take a stab at it.
Okay.
Is the U what? How do you say it? Is you the pro?
U
Is it a
equals U
program you
equals
for
U.
you? Is that a program like a counseling program?
I'm sorry, say that again. I hear the last part.
Okay, you're with the thing that you call you for you. I think that's what you said the name of it is. Is that a counseling program?
No, no. U equals U is it's a science that was conducted to determine that if a person is undetected for 6 months, can they transmit HIV? Because that is a concern, right, for anyone
Yes.
to know. So it's been proven as a science, from medical doctors, and so it's not a program, but is a wealth of information. And I just said it as a campaign, and the campaign is just to get the awareness out. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
campaign is just to get the awareness out, but it is actually proven medically that if a person is taking their medicine every day, adherence 100% is important.
Okay, I'm going to Google that and see if I can find
Please
some
do.
more information. This is the first time that I've heard of this concept or science you for you. The second thing I wanted to ask you about was with the PrEP program, and like I said, you might not know the answer to this. When someone is on PrEP, okay, first of all, I believe that's a medication that's prescribed by a physician.
Yes.
And if so, would you have any idea? Can you tell me, do you have to take this blue pill? It's funny that that's like Viagra, huh?
Well, that's the color of the pill. It's actually blue.
Okay, but my question is, like, when you're on PrEP, is that a pill that you take every day, or right before sex, right after sex? And I don't know if you can answer that. Might be a medical question. I was
Okay.
just curious. I've heard of PrEP, but I didn't know how it worked.
Well, I like the fact that you knew the difference and that it's a program. So it ain't just about picking up a pill. No, it's a program that you have to work with your medical doctors. You have to work with like a health educator or a medical case manager to ensure that you remain HIV negative, right? So you have to get tested first. You have to get tested, and then and once the doctor do those sexual assessment of you, sexual risk assessment, and then they can best say, oh, are you ready for PrEP, because you're a great candidate. And so when the doctor gives you the medicine, you have to be on PrEP for at least 21 days for it to build in your immune system. Now it varies from men to women, so they have to be adherent to it, taking it every day. And if you still want to engage in sex during that 21 time, wear a condom.
Okay.
Wear a condom. But continue to take the pill. And so once you stop, I'm sorry, so once you decide, okay, it's past, just say it's day 30 now, you're safe because it builds up into your immune system. So it's all about your immune system and how adherent you were. And so now you can have unprotected sex and you won't get HIV positive result. But guess what? You still have to wear a condom because it does not protect against the other STI, sexually transmitted infections, right? You knew that, right?
Yes. Also, the other person could have HIV, and you might want to use that condom just because I don't know if the other person had disclosed their status, and
Well,
to continue to protect yourself.
It's designed for an HIV negative that you will not get infected, and so that means that you could engage in unprotected sex with an HIV positive person, right? But I understand you don't want to take that risk, but communication is important, and guess what? It is important to know if that person is undetectable. Remember, you equals you can benefit that person if they were undetectable, right?
Right.
But you also should know the status. But if they don't, remember it's about self-responsibility. Then if you have that strong doubt, don't engage in unprotected sex, right?
Well, that's easier said than done, but yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Right. But that is an option, is what I'm saying. We can't put it on that person waiting for them to disclose. So that's why that's important. And then you also ask another thing: can you stop? Yeah, you can have breaks in taking the PrEP pill, but during that time, you got to wear a condom 100% of the time, and then you can go back on. Yeah, you can take vacations from the pill.
Oh, okay, I appreciate your responses to my questions.
No, I
I have
thank you.
one more. It's really more of a comment than it is a question. You said tomorrow there's going to be a health fair.
Yes.
And I'm just curious, are you going to have representatives from Social Security there? And the reason why I'm asking that is because I know I have friends who have HIV or have who has been in that situation. And I noticed you were talking about housing and employment, and I was just curious, are you going to have representatives from Social Security just in case there are people who have HIV or have other things going on that they may qualify for disability? I know years ago, if you were infected with AIDS, you automatically qualified for disability if your viral load
Right.
was 200 or less.
Exactly.
But now that we have had, I guess we got better technology, I don't know what the disability requirements are, so I was just curious, are you going to have representatives from Social Security? And if you aren't, may I suggest that you have them for your next one?
Exactly. You know what? No one confirmed from the Social Security, so I will say you that. I will tell you that much. But now a person can work and still get SSDI, but it's like under 1,000 that they could make. They can't make over that in a month's time. But I can also give referrals, to Social Security or even to an attorney who works with people who are HIV positive, that can assist them as well. Because some people still want to return, like you said, they want to return back into the workforce, but they don't want to lose all their benefits, so they can gradually go back to work.
Okay, now that's a topic for a different show, and I would love to go head to head with you on that because
Okay,
there's
I
a lot of
will.
misconceptions about working and getting Social Security. I know personally from having assisted people who were in certain predicaments where they tried that and they were denied their benefits. But at a later date, we'll do that one.
Yes.
I really
Yes.
appreciate you taking my
Thank
call.
you.
I don't want to hog all the time. Maybe
Well,
someone else wants to
I'm
get
all right
through.
with it. But
You
thank you,
know,
caller, and I appreciate you very much.
that's okay. And thanks a lot for doing this program.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
And so I'm happy that I have reached a caller and everyone else that's viewing in, because that's how information spreads. By someone listening, hearing, and they bringing in their questions or their concerns that they have around a subject. And that is so important. So I want to commend that caller for doing that, because U equals U, which is undetectable equals untransmittable, have not been out for very long. Like I said, it used to be called treatment as prevention, but see, that went over everyone's head. So let's not this campaign or this particular science, let's not have that go over people's head, because they can prevent HIV, and it reduces that stigma saying, so I don't want to have sex with someone HIV positive, because it's not about that. It's about knowing yourself, your options, educating yourself on HIV, and knowing that it can be prevented. So that's I want to get that message out there. And so there are preventive measures out there. So I'm going to run through them once again. Abstinence. If you're not having sex, you cannot get HIV. Undetectable equals untransmittable. U equals U for people who are HIV positive. PrEP is out there. It's for pre-exposure prophylactic. It's for HIV negative individuals. And once again, condoms, male and females, is for HIV positive and HIV negative individuals. So please come to our health fair tomorrow. I want to wrap it up Thursday, April the 26th, from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, and the caller. Yes, I enjoy that. Know that there are a support group at Universal Family Connection every Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thank you very much. Goodbye.